So here we are at our Camp Hill project. It looks a bit different. Last time you were with us, we were prepping for slab. Demo was well underway.
Restumping was done.
She's got her steel in now. It's looking really good. Slab is down, services are in, frame is in, and trusses are about to go on. So let's show you around.
Last time we were here, so we were slab prepping, so a fair bit goes into the slab prep. You know, we've got to dig out the footings, form it all up, steel it all up. One of the majors is services, so you need to make sure that your toilet's flush, you need to make sure you've got electricity in your island benches, you need to make sure the house has got gas for hot water. All that's been done, getting really exciting. Framing's up, so now we're all taking shape.
So one of the big things about raising houses and building in under is the steel that holds the houses up. We're lucky in that a lot of our jobs we do everything from scratch. So we raise the house, we design the whole house, so therefore the steel can be within the walls. Sometimes we do have clients come to us who have purchased a house that's already raised, but they haven't already had a design done for the underside of the house. So then once we get into designing it, the steel ends up out of the walls, which ends up being an added charge. So even if you are just raising your house and wanting to use the underside for storage, make sure you're raising it with the design in mind. It's really great to have that design sorted so that your steel can end up in your walls and the builders aren't having to move it around.
So upstairs at Camp Hill, you know, we're in an existing house that we've raised. It's obviously pre-1946, so we've got a lot of funny stuff happening up here. Even though like the walls are built where they're drawn and we're keeping them and all that kind of stuff, a lot of the time we need to rebuild them, try to bring it into the new age of structural walls and all that kind of stuff.
One of the beauties of working with old houses.
It'll stay standing up. And obviously we've got a lot of features to work with as well. It sometimes makes it even harder to build around, if you like, because we've got to keep it.
Yeah, so in that design phase, one of the things that we always try to feature are those original features of the house. So in this house in particular, it's the ceilings. They're beautiful. We have a couple of really gorgeous ones in a few rooms. One in particular we're featuring in one of the main common areas of the upstairs living space. So it's that stairwell void, and it also creates the hallway to a couple of the bedrooms. So another one of the things that a lot of people fall in love with these old houses are the original windows. Now on this house in particular, we've kept all the original windows on the front of the house, kept the facade looking gorgeous and as it should. At the back, we've decided to go with an aluminium. One thing with these old timber houses is budgets. They always blow out. So we've been able to go with an aluminium window on the back and on some of the side windows, and it really decreases the amount that we're having to spend on windows for the entire house.
So we're standing on a finished concrete slab which we're using as the garage, and we're standing next to fire rated block wall, so Caulfield block wall. I find this a lot in the suburbs kind of renovations and builds as we're going quite close to the boundary. So anything within 900mm of the side boundary needs to be fire rated. So how we get that fire rating in this situation is core filling a 190 block. So I've talked about steel posts in walls. Another thing to think about is steel bearers in ceilings.
So again, in these old houses, when we're lifting and raising, one of the big things that we try to avoid is bulkheads. So in this house in particular, we're dealing with old steel and new steel. And one of the ways we get around that is the pitching point. So can you just explain the pitching points again?
The pitching point for a lower roof and is generally the same as a lower ceiling. So the pitching point is the point or the height that the trusses or the rafters sit on, which then generally becomes a level member and becomes your ceiling as well. That will allow us to give us a nice flat 2.7 metre ceiling throughout the whole lower level.
It's really bringing that old down into the new part of the house, and really using architectural features that they've used in the upper part of the house in that new section of the house. So frame's done,
Mostly done.
truss is about to go in.
Truss is about to go on, then we'll tie it
And-
down, and that'll be the end of frame stage.
Yeah.
So plenty to go after that though.
So we've got roof to go on, exterior cladding to go on,
Windows first.
windows and doors.
Windows first, and then cladding, and then we're pretty close to lock up.
Yeah, so we'll check back in with you once that stage is done. It'll look like a completely different house.